All right, in this video, we are going to perform a Db2 installation on Linux. So the Db2 version is 11.5.6.0 that is recently released. And the Linux distro we are going to use is Red Hat Enterprise Server Linux RHEL 8.1. Typically for the Db2 install, it is kind of universal. In other words, it is platform independent. I mean, the Linux distro independent. It doesn't matter you use Red Hat, CentOS, SUSE, or Ubuntu. The install method is the same. Also, it's version independent. Basically, it doesn't matter if you install 11.5 or 11.1, 10.5, 10.1, those kind of 9.7, they're all the same. It's a offline install. Basically, you download it from IBM and upload it to your server, database server, and then perform the install. There's a couple of methods supported by IBM. We're gonna pick one of them today. So here's my environment. So I have a server name called R1. I'm gonna use a username called DBA1 with sudo privileges. And I'm gonna use SSH and SCP client that is built in on the Windows 10 for the connect to the server and also for the transfer the file, okay? Let me go to my DOS window, CMD window. So if you see, I'm going to use where SSH, where SCP, you will see it is basically under the Windows System 32 OpenSSH. Okay, that is the IBM adoption of OpenSSH. Okay, so you don't have to install anything, just use the given by Microsoft. The paperwork, basically, you're gonna download the Db2 Community Edition from IBM. I've already done that. Let me go to the web browser. So let's see web browser, the Db2 install method. Let's see this one. Let's see, let's do a Db2 community. Okay, community edition. So they will give you the IBM website, the Db2 database community edition. And from here, you can go ahead to download. But you do need to sign on to get, or if you already have an IBM account. So you're gonna click here. Let's see, Db2 standard download. Let's see. Here's the limitation for the developer edition. It's basically you can have up to 16 gig memory, 4 CPUs, and the database size of 100 gig. This is incorrect. It should be 100 gig. Okay. Probably this. Yeah, you will see. Then click download. Here you see. Now it's available. It's 11.5. However, once you get into this download page, you will see, once you log in, you will see it's 11.5.6, the recent one. Oh, here it is. The limitation of the community license is free. You can have up to those numbers, 100 gig disk size, the database size, 4 cores, and 16 gig. There's plenty of resources for the learning purpose, okay? All right, so we've done, let's go back to the the screen. Okay. All right, so the next one we're going to do is, so we download this community edition. So I've already downloaded it. It is on my C drive. Here it is. It is 11.5.6. Also, this 11.5, the early, like early of this year. All right, so we're gonna. I also uploaded, staged this tar gz file to the server. So once we log on, you will see it. Okay, this is being done already. So the pre-work is already done. So the next one, we're going to use the Db2 install method and do it interactively. We'll demo what does that mean. Okay, let's go back to the, so if you do a search on Db2 installation methods, IBM site is give you, we support like 4 or 5 way to install Db2. For the Linux, like this. For the Windows, you're going to use the Db2 sidebar wizard. So the one we're going to talk about today is going to db2 underscore install method. Okay, it's very simple, and you will see shortly. All right, so let's log on to the server. So method steps. It's going to SSH to the server. To the server. It's basically login, right? So it's the login process. So I'm going to use SSH. As I said, the username is going to be, in my case, called DBA1 with sudo privilege. So the server name is R1. I just keep it simple, then you give the password. Okay, now you are in the system. So if you do ls, you will see this is the installer or IBM software install image. You see, it's uploaded from my Windows to the Linux. I already done this. Whichever way you want, you can use WinSCP or other method as SFTP as well. So we uploaded to this home directory of this user. Now we're gonna untar this file. Okay, so it's tar xbf, then followed by file name. So okay, so we're gonna untar the everything into this directory or folder server underscore deck. Okay, DEC, and then we're gonna go inside to this directory and do the prerequisite check. Okay, so basically I'm gonna modify this script, this text file. It's gonna be used for it. SS shell logon. Okay, log on to the server. Okay, all right. So let's see, we're gonna do a cd to the server underscore dc directory. Okay, all right. So let's continue. It's finished. Oh, it's already finished. Okay. So let's do ls. We're going to go to this directory. Let's do ls. Let's do a ls minus l. Okay. I think probably this is too long. That is why. Let me make a change. Okay. Property layout. Right now it's 300. Let's make it 100. Okay. So. Okay, I'm gonna do it too short. Let me drag it. So All right, so this is the files in this location. So we're gonna do the prerequisite check, use the Db2 prerequisite check, okay? So we're gonna do prerequisite check, Db2 prerequisite check. Okay, so before we run this command, let's use the help to see what option we have. So this is the syntax usage for the Db2 precheck, prerequisite check. So the option we're going to use, one is -L. That means the latest Db2 version. In this case, it's 11.5.6. Also, we're going to use Db2 -Li. So that is excluded the pure scale feature. We are not doing the pure scale. Other than that, we're going to use everything else, okay? So you can also use the Db2 -V, V that is for the specific version. So let's do a prerequisite check. So we're going to do it is -L -I. So you will see this is what you get. It says some of the prerequisites are not, satisfied for the current system. But this is for 32-bit library. It's very common, so you can ignore, or if it bothers, you can install those packages. Or another way to check is -V. You give a version. In this case, we would like to check 11.5.6.0, this one, the most recent one, -L. But this is going to give you lots of output, so you see the output, they said, okay, it's successful for, let's see, some packages. Okay, so let's see, it says, okay, this packages, C++ was match, requirement matched, but it also shows the same thing. We have two packages, it's not matched. So let's go back again. So let me use this one as well. Okay, so let's get rid of this warning. Let's just install these packages. Okay, for this one. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna use sudo yum install. It's a package name. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, it's installed. Let's recheck. So now you're gonna install this package. So because I don't know what is the package name for this SO library, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do yum search. Okay, what provide this package? Okay, so let's see what provides this package. I'm going to use something like this. Okay, let's try. Nothing match. So let's see. Let me try asterisk. Oh, asterisk work. So that means we're gonna need to install this package. Yeah, pam dash or minus devil and i686, the 32-bit. So let's do a sudo yum install this guy, not this guy, the pam level devil evil, then i686. All right, they also install like libdb, those kind of PAM IS86. So we're gonna the dependency, okay? So they're gonna install a couple of dependent packages. It's finished. Let's check again. So it should be clean now, okay? So let's see. All right, everything was met. If you do the repeated command early, like -v, this one, you see at the end it also says all the prerequisite met. Okay, so the prerequisite check is finished. But I do want to point out the prerequisite check has some bug. Okay, but I'm not going to demonstrate here. You might find in the future. So I'm going to continue with the install. All right, so continue with the install. Before they do the install, what I'm going to do is I'm going to first look at the default installation location. Okay, so IBM, if you take the default, it's going to put into in this location, IBM Db2. That is the location. It's going to be right now it's empty. So also let's see the packages. I'm also interested after the install, what package the Db2 installer is going to installed in the system. Okay, so let's take a look. So let's use RPM -QA minus last and more. Okay, let's take a look. All right, so you see the package, the last time we installed is this one, PAM, this package we just installed. So after we install the Db2, we will check what else packages is going to be installed. Okay, let's do a count first. Okay, I'm going to do a count. See how many packages right now installed. So in the system. So right now my system have 1466 packages installed. So I would examine after the Db2 install what packages the IBM is put to the system. Okay. Also, there's a command. Let's check. It's going to call db2ls. So that is the command. After install, we're going to run to check the what being installed as well. Okay. As said, now let's go ahead with the use the db2 install to do the installation. Let's do ls again. So here is it is the script, to do the install. Okay, db2 install, and also you can use to help the syntax. I think, yeah, you see the syntax as well. Okay, so we're gonna do the interactive. So basically, we're gonna do just simply type db2 install and with the sudo. So the first question is asked for the license terms. So of course you can accept the license terms. The second is the default directory. So that is the default directory. It's called a software home directory. So we're going to install those to this directory. So let's just take a default location. You can choose whatever location you want. Now it is the product. So we're going to use the server. The rest, it is the second one, it's called the Db2 Connect. The third one is a Db2 client software. The fourth one, it's called runtime client software. Okay, so we're going to install the server software. So the next question is, do you want the pure scale for the clustering? So high availability, so we don't want the pure scale, okay? So we're gonna enter no. So after that, let's do so we're gonna start it, there's a couple of, probably like a couple of 10 steps. Let's see how many steps. This is too fast. Let's see, beginning number 30. Here, you see the step 33, it's going to install the Tivoli system automation for multi-platform. So that is AKA called the TSAMP. Okay, so this is or TSA. They all mean the same thing. It is also a clustering software. If you run like Db2 higher available HADR or header, and you want to use Tivoli to manage the automation failover, and you will this is the software you're gonna use. I think besides that, let me see. So this Db2 install is going to be installed. Besides the Db2, they also install TSA, okay, or TSAMP, Tivoli system automation software. They also install the pacemaker. This is the new thing I'd like to mention. That is for the 11.6, you see, 11.5.6, okay. So that is another component Db2 is installed. So the pacemaker is similar to TSAMP, but this is open source. Okay, so you can check IBM website to read about the pacemaker. And so that is, let's see, step 49. I think it's almost there. Let's see the beginning. Total number of tasks to perform is 59. Okay, estimate time is it's 59. So okay, it's finished. So you see the execution completed successful. Also, you can look at the log. It's very similar. Let's take a look at the log file. You will see. Let's see. It says those components and installing those components and also the TSA Tivoli system automation for multi-platforms. So it's successful. So everything looks good. Okay, so we have a successful install. So let's do a command db2ls. So it will show. This is where you install the software. This is db2 version, and this is the date. Okay. So let's see if we run this one. You will see the db2 software was installed here. Okay, so let's copy this path. So you see, so everything installed here, like a bin directory, some other directory you can use, like install directory, instance directory, and so on and so forth. So let's see which db2ls. So basically, after the install, IBM is going to put this command into the user local bin, okay? So let's see what else command may be in this location. Okay, I'm going to do ls use the local bin usr local bin. I'm going to do a grep db2. So okay, so the installer put the two command in user bin. That is what in any user can run this command. This use ls to so this the installation location. So this db2 GREG is represent a global registry. It's basically see what the db2 feature or component be installed. So we can run this command. So db2, so user minus dump. Okay. So if you see what is being installed, it's installed the TSA or TSAMP. They also installed RCT. RCT, it is reliable, scalable clustering technology for the clustering. Okay. Pacemaker, DB2, and this is the features, the S, starting with the S. Okay. And so also as I mentioned earlier, we can also check what is being installed, the packages are installed to the system. So let's retrieve the command. So let's see how many packages now. So now we have 1756. You see, it's installed a couple of hundred new packages. So let's take a look what have been installed. Okay, so let's take a look. So you first see the pacemaker packages being installed. For the pacemaker, I think this one you see, CrowSync is part of the pacemaker. Is installed. Also install some Perl packages, Python 3, and so on and so forth. Okay, some libraries, and they're all pacemaker related. Okay. The next one it's the SAM. Okay, it's like a part of the TSAM. Okay, so that is the Tivoli portion. Okay, SAM. Then the RCT. So that is the clustering, reliable, scalable clustering technology. Okay, so let's see. The source is also a part of the RCA. Okay. Okay, so now you'll see. So PAM, that is what we prior to the DB2 install, that is the package we installed. So anything above this line is the package is installed. So let's see how many packages we have installed. Let's do a quick. So I'm going to save this to a file called temp file. I'm going to edit this file quick. Okay. So temp files. Let's see, it's 200. Okay, here. So let's see, the last one we installed is PAM. Okay, so I'm gonna remove this one. So let's see, WC temp file. Yeah, it's about the install like nearly 300 files or 300 packages. Okay, so let me remove this. Okay. All right. So at this moment, we learned what we learned. We check the package again. So we learned we used the db2 ls command. We also learned to use the db2g global registry command to look at the components. We also use the RPM pack to look at the packages being installed, RPM. to look at the packages being installed. Okay, so we basically see Db2, tsam, pacemaker, and RSCT. Those packages are being installed. Okay, so the reason I'm bringing this here is you show you to understand what is being installed to the system, especially if you run the clustering. So you need to know what is installed. And if you don't want these packages, there's options you can like exclude those things because, for example, you don't want this tsam, okay? You don't want the pacemaker. You can exclude this one. So that is, you can do this as well, okay? So that's it. That is the Db2 installation. So I think I just I'm gonna remove this the install if needed to be. I can reinstall, use a different method. For example, let me see my document. So one that is using the Db2 install non-interactive. That is when you write a script to do the installation. For example, you use the you install to like many servers. You want to repeat the same install. You can write a script. You don't want to answer these questions one by one. And this other method, the Db2set use the GUI, or Db2setup use the response file. So method 2 and 4, it's all like non-interactive. Method 1, method 2 is interactive. Okay. All right, that's it for today.